Imagine being able to grasp new skills effortlessly, like the instant blooming of a lotus flower under the gentle rays of the morning sun. Picture yourself picking up a guitar and strumming melodies with ease, speaking a foreign language fluently within weeks, or mastering a skill that could open doors to a brighter, more fulfilling life. It's a dream many of us have nurtured, a desire for a magical ability to learn faster and transform our lives with newfound knowledge. But pause for a moment and consider this. Learning is not merely a race against time. It's not about cramming information or rushing to finish. True mastery stems from something much deeper. It's about the depth of your understanding, the presence you bring to the process, and a mindful approach to growth. In this context, learning becomes more than acquiring skills. It becomes a transformative journey of self-discovery and personal evolution. Imagine, for example, trying to master a skill like painting. At first, it might feel overwhelming, an endless array of techniques, tools, and colors to navigate. But when approached mindfully, you discover that each stroke, each mix of color, becomes an opportunity to deepen your understanding and refine your craft. Similarly, learning to play an instrument like the piano isn't about rushing through sheet music. Instead, it's about feeling each key, understanding the rhythm, and connecting with the music on a deeper level. So, what makes accelerated learning possible? The answer lies in a blend of ancient wisdom and modern science. In this guide, we'll dive deep into how you can learn anything faster than everyone else, inspired by the timeless wisdom. Learning begins with awareness. Before embarking on any journey of learning, pause to reflect on your intention. Ask yourself, why do you wish to learn this skill or gain this knowledge? This simple act of introspection holds immense power. As Buddha often emphasized, mindfulness should be at the heart of every action. Begin by being present and fully aware of your why. When your purpose is clear, it becomes your guiding light, turning distractions into opportunities for focus and curiosity. This clarity serves as a compass, ensuring you stay on course even when challenges test your resolve. Think back to those moments when you crammed for a test or binge-watched tutorial after tutorial. Were you genuinely learning, or was it a mere act of skimming the surface? Chances are, the results were fleeting because the process lacked mindfulness and intention. Buddha's teaching of right effort highlights the importance of channeling energy into consistent, meaningful actions rather than frantic bursts of activity. True progress is not about doing more, but about doing it mindfully, with purpose and attention. When learning is approached with awareness, it transforms from a mundane task into a deeply fulfilling process. Every step, every small success, and even every failure becomes part of a larger, purposeful journey. Mindfulness allows you to immerse yourself in the experience, savoring the insights and understanding gained along the way. It's no longer just about reaching a destination, but embracing the learning process itself. Moreover, awareness creates a powerful foundation for deeper understanding. When your mind is grounded and calm, it becomes more receptive to new ideas and perspectives. Learning is no longer rushed or pressured, but flows naturally and effortlessly. You begin to see connections between concepts, absorb knowledge on a deeper level, and apply it more effectively in real-life situations. Ultimately, mindfulness in learning aligns your efforts with your goals, ensuring that the time and energy you invest yield lasting results. It turns what might otherwise feel like a chore into a purposeful, enriching act. By cultivating this awareness, you don't just learn, you grow, evolve, and uncover the joy of truly mastering something meaningful. The power of active engagement. Buddha's teachings emphasize a simple yet profound truth. True understanding stems from direct experience rather than passive observation. This principle holds immense relevance in the way we approach learning. Simply consuming information, whether through books, videos, or lectures, may increase awareness, but it seldom leads to mastery. To truly grasp a concept, we must immerse ourselves in action. Whether you're learning to play the guitar, mastering coding, or picking up a new language, the transformation from knowing to doing is the bridge that converts knowledge into skill. It is this deliberate practice that fosters growth and lays the foundation for true competence. Take the example of meditation. Reading about mindfulness might provide insights into its benefits and methods, but the essence of mindfulness only becomes clear when you experience it firsthand. Sitting in silence, focusing on your breath, and confronting the whirlwind of distractions in your mind is when the real learning unfolds. These moments of practice teach resilience, self-awareness, and focus, lessons far more profound than any book can offer. Science reinforces this age-old wisdom. Modern techniques such as active recall and spaced repetition illustrate how active engagement enhances learning. Active recall, for instance, involves testing yourself on information rather than passively reviewing it, forcing your brain to retrieve and strengthen connections. Spaced repetition, on the other hand, involves revisiting material at strategic intervals, embedding it more firmly in your memory. Both methods rely on active participation, proving that engaging the brain with effort and intention leads to deeper understanding and retention. These principles align seamlessly with Buddha's teachings on enlightenment. Just as enlightenment is not attained through mere contemplation, but through disciplined practice, knowledge is not internalized by passively observing but by actively engaging with it. Every time you take action, be it practicing a skill, applying a concept, or testing your understanding, you are laying the groundwork for mastery. Active engagement transforms the superficial into the profound. It makes learning meaningful, durable, and practical. By shifting your focus from passive consumption to active participation, you align with the timeless wisdom of turning information into real, applicable insight. It's a powerful reminder that growth is not about what you know, but what you do with what you know. Focus on essentials with the 80-20 rule. Buddha's teachings on the middle path advocate for a life of balance, where extremes are avoided and focus is placed on the essentials. This philosophy resonates deeply with the Pareto principle, commonly known as the 80-20 rule. The principle states that 80% of results stem from 20% of efforts. In other words, not all tasks or actions are created equal. Some have a disproportionately greater impact. By prioritizing these vital few, you can streamline your efforts and achieve more with less. This aligns perfectly with Buddha's emphasis on simplifying life and focusing on what truly matters. Consider this concept in the context of learning a new language. Instead of trying to memorize every word in the dictionary, you can focus on mastering the 20% of words and phrases that are most commonly used. These foundational elements allow you to communicate effectively and build a base for further learning. Similarly, in any skill, whether it's music, sports, or cooking, honing the basics first is a stepping stone to mastering more complex techniques. For instance, a pianist who focuses on scales and finger positioning lays the groundwork for playing advanced pieces with ease. A helpful analogy is the classic jar-filling exercise. Imagine you have a jar, a handful of big stones, some pebbles, and sand. If you start with the sand or pebbles, you'll find there's no room left for the big stones. However, if you place the big stones in first, the smaller elements can fill the gaps around them. This illustrates the importance of identifying and prioritizing your big stones, the key tasks or skills that matter most. In learning, focusing on these essentials prevents overwhelm, accelerates progress, and sets the stage for deeper mastery. Take photography as an example. Mastering foundational aspects like composition and lighting will have a far greater impact on the quality of your work than diving into intricate camera settings. Understanding the rule of thirds or how natural light affects a shot is far more beneficial than obsessing over minor technicalities. Once these core principles are ingrained, the additional details naturally fall into place. Buddha's guidance on simplicity reminds us to strip away distractions, leaving a clear path to mastery. By focusing on what truly matters, you free yourself from the clutter of unnecessary effort and achieve meaningful progress. Embrace deliberate practice. Buddha's teachings encourage growth through discomfort, urging us to confront our weaknesses with courage and persistence. This philosophy closely mirrors the concept of deliberate practice, a learning strategy that focuses on addressing specific challenges to improve skills. Unlike casual repetition, deliberate practice targets the areas where you struggle most, pushing you out of your comfort zone to foster genuine growth. It's natural to gravitate toward tasks you're already good at. They offer instant gratification and reinforce your confidence. However, true mastery lies in the willingness to confront your limitations. For instance, if drawing realistic human faces feels daunting, deliberate practice would involve breaking the skill into manageable parts, studying facial proportions, practicing shading techniques, and replicating real-life features. Similarly, if learning a new language, you might find grammar drills easier than speaking in conversations. Yet, deliberately focusing on speaking, despite the initial discomfort, would yield greater long-term benefits. The journey of meditation offers a parallel example. Beginners often find themselves restless, distracted, or frustrated. Yet, by continuing to sit through the discomfort, practitioners eventually achieve a deeper state of mindfulness. Similarly, when learning any skill, facing challenges head-on strengthens your abilities. Studies in psychology back this approach, showing that deliberate practice, with immediate feedback and targeted effort, is a cornerstone of expertise. Buddha's teachings offer valuable insight here. Obstacles are not roadblocks but stepping stones. Each challenge you face is an opportunity for growth. For example, a guitarist struggling with complex finger placements can break down the movement, practice it slowly, and receive feedback from a teacher or peers. This iterative process may feel tedious, but it builds the muscle memory needed for eventual fluency. The lesson is clear. The struggle is not something to avoid but to embrace. It's in facing difficulties that you unlock your potential, transforming weaknesses into strengths. Teach to learn. One of the most profound acts Buddha performed was teaching. His teachings not only benefited his followers but also deepened his own understanding of the truths he had discovered. This act of sharing knowledge reinforces the concept that teaching is one of the most effective ways to learn. When you teach, you are forced to organize your thoughts, clarify complex ideas, and identify any gaps in your understanding. The process of teaching, even informally, acts as a mirror for your knowledge. Explaining a concept to someone else requires you to articulate it clearly, which in turn strengthens your own grasp of the subject. For instance, imagine trying to explain a challenging math problem to a friend. In breaking it down step by step, you often discover nuances you hadn't considered before. This is why the adage, "To teach is to learn twice," holds true. Teaching doesn't necessarily require a formal classroom setting. It can be as simple as explaining a concept to a friend, mentoring a peer, or recording yourself as if guiding an imaginary audience. Even writing about a topic can serve as a form of teaching. For example, blogging about your learning journey in photography, explaining concepts like aperture, shutter speed, and ISO, can help you refine your understanding while also helping others. Buddha's teachings emphasize interdependence, highlighting how helping others also benefits the self. Teaching fosters empathy and patience, qualities that not only enhance your learning experience, but also contribute to personal growth. By sharing knowledge, you create a collaborative environment where everyone benefits. Imagine explaining a coding concept to a beginner. Their questions might challenge you to think critically, uncovering insights you hadn't realized before. Teaching transforms learning from a solitary pursuit into a shared journey, amplifying the benefits for all involved. Involve multiple senses. Buddha's teachings often encourage a holistic approach to life, emphasizing the importance of balance and interconnectedness. Similarly, engaging multiple senses in the learning process enhances retention and understanding. Instead of relying solely on one method, like reading or watching, you can involve your other senses to create a richer and more immersive experience. For example, if you're learning a new language, diversify your approach. Don't just read a textbook. Listen to podcasts in the language, watch movies or shows with subtitles, practice speaking with native speakers, and write down new vocabulary. Each sensory experience reinforces the others, creating a web of connections in your brain. This multi-sensory approach mirrors the intricate designs of a mandala, where each element contributes to the beauty of the whole. Research in neuroscience supports this idea, showing that multisensory learning activates more areas of the brain. By involving different senses, you not only enhance memory retention but also make the learning process more engaging. Imagine learning to cook. Reading recipes is a good start, but tasting ingredients, watching tutorials, and experimenting with techniques bring the experience to life. Each sensory input adds depth to your understanding, making the learning journey dynamic and enjoyable. Buddha's teachings on mindfulness also align with this approach. Being fully present in the moment allows you to absorb experiences deeply. For instance, if you're learning to play the piano, focus on how the keys feel under your fingers, listen to the nuances in the sound, and watch your hands as they move. This level of sensory involvement not only accelerates learning but also makes it more fulfilling. Engaging multiple senses ensures that the process becomes a vivid and memorable experience, much like a well-crafted work of art. Balance work with rest. In Buddhism, rest and effort are seen as complementary forces. Sleep, for instance, is not merely rest, but a time when the brain consolidates information. During rest, your brain organizes and strengthens new connections, much like a gardener tending to young saplings. Skimping on rest diminishes your ability to learn effectively. Avoid overloading yourself with marathon study sessions. Instead, embrace the spacing effect. Short, consistent efforts over time create stronger pathways in the brain, much like carving a trail through dense forest. Buddha's principle of balance reminds us that rest is not a luxury, it's a necessity for growth. Taking breaks, meditating, or simply relaxing allows your mind to absorb and process what you've learned, paving the way for deeper understanding. Think of rest as a fertile ground where the seeds of knowledge take root and flourish. Cultivate focus and eliminate distractions. Buddha emphasized right concentration, the ability to focus deeply and sustain attention. In our fast-paced, distraction-laden world, this is more relevant than ever. Notifications, multitasking, and constant interruptions dilute your energy and scatter your focus. Learning requires a serene environment where you can fully engage with the task at hand. Turn off your phone, close unnecessary tabs, and create a space dedicated to learning. Practicing mindfulness while studying anchors you in the present moment, enabling you to absorb information more effectively. Like the calm surface of a still pond, a focused mind reflects clarity and depth. By eliminating distractions, you amplify your capacity to learn and grow. Imagine studying in a quiet, uncluttered room with your full attention on the material. It's a transformative experience that enhances retention and comprehension. Celebrate small wins and adopting a growth mindset. The journey of learning can feel overwhelming, but Buddha's wisdom teaches us to find joy in the present moment. Break your goals into smaller milestones and celebrate each achievement no matter how minor. Dopamine, your brain's reward chemical, fuels motivation, keeping you energized and optimistic. Reward yourself after completing a chapter, solving a problem, or mastering a technique. This reinforces positive behavior and makes learning enjoyable. Buddha's reminder to savor the moment encourages us to appreciate each step of the journey. By celebrating small wins, you maintain enthusiasm and transform the process into a series of joyful experiences. Picture yourself learning a musical piece. Mastering one bar at a time and acknowledging each success creates a positive cycle that propels you forward. I cannot do this transforms into I cannot do this yet. Buddha's teachings remind us that change is inevitable and growth is always possible. Embrace the belief that your abilities can improve with effort. This mindset fosters resilience, perseverance, and a love for learning. Every failure becomes a lesson, Just as the lotus grows through mud, your struggles nourish your eventual success. The process of learning, with all its challenges, is where true growth occurs. Modern psychology supports this approach, showing that a growth mindset leads to greater achievement and satisfaction. Celebrate the journey and trust in your ability to evolve. Each setback is a teacher, guiding you closer to mastery. Learning is a sacred journey, one that intertwines knowledge and self-discovery. By integrating mindfulness, deliberate practice, and a balanced approach, you can unlock your potential and learn faster than ever. Remember, the path to mastery is not a race, but a mindful walk through the garden of growth. Take a deep breath, set your intentions, and step forward with purpose. As Buddha said, with our thoughts, we make the world. Let your thoughts guide you to wisdom and skill. With every mindful step you take, you'll discover not only the joy of learning, but also the profound realization that the journey itself is the true reward. The path to mastery is yours to embrace, one mindful moment at a time. If this video helps you, encourage us by subscribing to the channel to support us for more content like this. Thank you.